All right, well, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I wish very sincerely that we were mediating right now our differences with the governor, but unfortunately the governor has cut off mediation and, frankly, was not happy and decided that he was going to walk out. So it's not the first time that he's done that on us, and my guess is this probably won't be the last, but that's part of dealing with people that you don't always agree with, and sometimes we have to agree with or work with people that we don't always agree with the way that they deal with other people as well, and unfortunately that's the situation we're in. So, the mediation we thought was difficult. Obviously, the issues that we're dealing with are difficult. The reason that we were in mediation was very simple. The governor line item vetoed the funding for the legislature. That basically is seen by us as an attempt to eliminate the legislature. Very plain and simply, I don't know that you can even interpret it any other way. We took him to court to restore the funding for our staff and our members, to make sure that people had a voice here at the Capitol in the legislature. The lower court ruled favorably with us, decided that the legislature should be funded. They overturned the governor's line item veto, and the governor decided to appeal that to the Supreme Court. The court then ordered us into mediation. So it was the governor's action that got us here, and unfortunately the governor is the one who has cut this off. So we're disappointed in his action. Unfortunately, he's decided to end it, but that's his decision. We will certainly continue to talk with him at any time and in any place to resolve these issues that we know are important to Minnesotans. As far as the legislative funding, I think we will continue. We consider ourselves to be in survival mode. The governor has literally eliminated our funding. The court has given us funding through October 1st. We do have some reserves that we can use beyond that. We will look at any other option to make sure that people have a voice here at the Capitol in their elected representatives. We feel very strongly about upholding Minnesotans' constitutional right to 3 branches of government. So we will look at any and all means necessary to continue to have a functioning legislature here at the state capitol, despite the governor's efforts to prevent that, what seems like today, at all costs. And his anger today really seemed to be, it was disappointing, and I know we all get frustrated once in a while, but today was the governor's day to get frustrated, I guess. But it seemed today like he was frustrated that he didn't successfully completely eliminate the legislature. And I find that to be very troubling and very disappointing. So I'll let Senator Gazelka make a few comments, and then we'll take some questions.
I listened to the governor's speech before us here, and his first comment was about getting the waiver approved, and I think that was a big deal. And I bring that up to say that was the beginning of session where we were actually working together, and that's why we wanted to do mediation. In the end, if the courts weren't going to completely rule in our favor and instead ask us to mediation, that was the opportunity to again set us on a path of working together. And so that's what we set out to do. We offered a number of offers, a number of things that we tried to work through, but they really were focused on how do we move forward from here. Some of the things that the governor wanted to negotiate, we'd already negotiated. We all had agreed to, we'd all signed, and we went back on our notes and we found that the governor absolutely said he would support the tax bill as is on Saturday evening before the end. And so it would have been a shock to us had he not signed that bill. And so that's where we're on that. But I also wanted to mention that both mediation and both why we sued in the first place was the governor can't defund the House and Senate. That's the issue. The issue is not how far we can run. We have a 2-year budget that we have to have funding all the way till 2019, July of 19. So that's the issue for us, is you can't defund the House and Senate, just like you cannot defund the judicial branch. And in the first court case before Guthman, the Judge Guthman asked his attorney, well, could you then defund the courts? And the answer was yes. And we just flat out disagree with that. And so we moving forward, we will continue. We hoped we would continue negotiation, but that did end abruptly because that would be the way that we move forward. There's too many big issues that we have to work on. We can't, if you allow the legislative branch to be crippled, we cannot function the way that we want to function and need to function. We don't know yet what's going to go on with the HHS, the federal, what they're going to do with us. We don't know, but we know that we need to be fully functioning. So today's a big disappointment for me. I was very optimistic that we could find a way through, but when it ended, it appeared that it didn't, and so now our hope is that the courts will rule as soon as possible. We hope they rule in our favor that you cannot defund the House and Senate.